Today we're making steak au poivre, my favorite steak dish. A lot of people are a bit intimidated cooking red meat. I'm gonna show you just how easy it is. And my own little spin on this dish, we're gonna make a beautiful green peppercorn au poivre sauce. And this dish comes together in 20 minutes, making it a great weeknight meal. First, with any good steak, we gotta start with a hot pan. Add in your oil. Today we're working with algae cooking oil. Any good steak dinner has to start with high quality meat. And this one has been dry aging for 5 days. I've talked before about dry brining. Basically, you season it with salt and let it sit uncovered in the fridge, which draws out all of that moisture. If you don't have that kind of time, you could always just pull it out of the refrigerator, let it come down to room temp, season it with salt, and then pat the steak to remove some of that moisture. When you start to see some of those first whiffs of smoke, you know your pan is ready. I like to start the steak with that fat cap down to render it into the pan. And we're gonna use that fat along with our cooking oil to sear the steak. Take a look at that fat, it's almost fully rendered out. Always make sure to lay it away from you to ensure you don't splatter oil all over yourself. Let's use a weight to hold it down. That's gonna help us get a nice even sear because color is flavor. So we're gonna take this all the way through in the pan and it should not take very long. I like to cook it 90 seconds on the first side, 90 seconds on the second side, and then we're gonna take it out and rest it for 3 minutes. We should be able to get a nice medium rare in the center in about 2 rounds. Now we're gonna take it out and let it rest. Think about it like this. When you're searing a steak, the sides of the meat are touching the pan. That means the inside is not cooking as quickly as the outside of the steak. When you allow it to rest, that temperature carries over to the inside of the steak, creating an even cook through your meat. So we're gonna go in with some butter, some thyme, and your smashed garlic cloves, then add in the steak for its final sear. This should bring the steak up to the exact temperature that we want. I like to baste it with butter while it's cooking to get some of the flavor of the garlic and the thyme into the meat. That's exactly where we want it. Now that steak is done, we're gonna take it out of the pan to rest, but not before pouring all this beautiful butter right on top of it. So this is happening very fast. The steak is already resting. As you saw, it was 128 degrees. We're gonna leave it there to rest for a couple minutes. It's gonna come up to at least 132 to 135 degrees. While that's happening, we're gonna make our sauce. First, in with your shallots, your green peppercorns, and our thyme. And just let that deglaze naturally. It's nice to use green peppercorns in an au poivre sauce because they're a little bit lighter than black peppercorns, less pungent, and a bit softer, so they cook much nicer into your sauce. Now we're gonna go in with our cognac, about a 1/4 cup. I'm just gonna let this reduce until it's basically evaporated. Now that the liquid is almost evaporated, we're gonna go in with our water and our veal demi. Demi is basically a reduction of veal stock. You basically start with a stock pot full of veal bones and aromatics and reduce it down into the smallest amount. And it comes out just packed with flavor. If you don't have time to make demi at home, just ask at your local butcher. If all else fails, you could use beef stock and just reduce that down a bit and allow it to thicken. So while that's reducing, we're gonna mix together our cream and our mustard in a separate mixing bowl. We're gonna take our mustard and go into our cream. This cream and mustard is gonna get mixed and then go into our green peppercorn sauce. Just whisk that right in. Once we removed our thyme, you're gonna whisk that pan sauce right into that cream and mustard mixture. Then we're gonna go right back into the pan and heat it back up. You can see this sauce has stayed emulsified, it looks beautiful, and it's not breaking. Now it's time to knock in a little butter. Now let's taste it. A little bit of salt. You have to season to taste. It is so important to taste your food while you're cooking it. That's delicious. All right, now we're gonna plate this thing. This steak has been resting with all of this thyme and garlic just soaking up that flavor. I think it's time to try this thing. Oh, that is delicious. Sauce is perfectly seasoned, creamy, and delicious. And the green peppercorns add a nice punch. It's fantastic. You gotta try this out.